Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today, I come to you with kind of bad news, but it's not as bad as it could be, and it's definitely going to get better. So, yeah. It's all about battle styles. You see, one of the questions I have had most often over the past few weeks is, Wassy, what is going on with the allocation of battle styles? Because, of course, I've shown you videos on this channel over the past few weeks telling you that Shining Fates, the first wave at least, we know there are going to be more waves, are being very heavily allocated. And essentially, it means that the products are going to be very, very difficult to find in stores, at least initially. So with this going on, a whole bunch of people have been in touch with me to say, Wassy, you've been telling us about Shining Fates and its allocation. What can you tell me about battle styles? Well, I like to think of myself as the complete Pokémon TCG channel. I bring you all the new cards, all the new decks, all the news, all the analysis, the history of the game. I really do try and cover a little bit of everything. So I've been waiting to bring you this news, and I've been waiting to bring you the answer to the question you keep asking me. But the answer is it's taken until now to actually get the information we need. The too long don't read version is, or didn't read, yes, it is going to be allocated. No, it is not going to be anything like the allocation we saw for Shining Fates. Now, I have spoken to a few stores. As always, anybody that helps me out with anything along these lines, I'm always incredibly grateful. I've spoken to a few people. I've canvassed around like I tend to do for these kind of stories. And like I've said, it is there, but it's not as bad as it could be. Now, when we refer to allocation, basically what we're saying is that stores have ordered a certain amount of stock, but the amount that they've ordered is not the same as the amount that they've actually received. So I spoke to one store who said that generally they tend to order 12 cases of booster boxes and 60 elite trainer boxes. And every set up until now, we're up to and including Vivid Voltage, they have ordered this stuff and it has come through and there's been no issues. This time around, they've got 2 cases, 1 sick for what they ordered, and 10 Elite Trainer boxes, 1 sick for what they ordered. So essentially, they are getting 1/6 of everything that they ordered, which is just a shade under 17%. Now, that is obviously not ideal because when you are running your numbers, when you're making predictions, you're expecting a certain amount of product. When you don't get it, that is obviously going to hit your bottom line. So we have some questions that essentially comes down to, well, all right here, ladies and gentlemen, well, why is this happening and is it going to get better? Although, just to be clear, right? It is definitely going to get better. Also, bit of free advice from Wassy here. Like I said, I've taught business for like 15 years just about. If you're running an online store, don't take money for pre-orders if you don't have guaranteed allocation. That's really bad business practice. Because what essentially happens is, you can sit there all you like and say, oh, well, we usually get this. Oh, the stores I'm referring to are good stores that don't do this, obviously. But you can sit there all you like and go, oh, well, I usually get this. Yeah, but you didn't this time. And essentially what you've done is you've taken money off people. Then you have to give it back to them while telling them they're not getting product. And you can give all the explanation you like. I have used companies that have done that before, and I've never used them again since. Seriously, you know this. Go and ask your friends. If a store takes money and then cancels your order and refunds you, you are going to be annoyed about that far more so than if you thought you had a pre-order and they said, sorry, we haven't got enough. You really damage the goodwill between your customers doing that. If you don't have guaranteed allocation, don't take money for pre-orders. It is a really bad idea that will come back to bite you. And I've seen a lot of stores going, oh, well, we've always had this allocation before. We had no reason to believe. Doesn't matter. Your customers are going to be annoyed at you. Your customers that have had their money out of their account for the last 2 months and now they've got it back with no product. You can give all the explanations you like. You've probably lost those customers moving forward. Now, the good news is a lot of the stores that I have spoken to have basically said the main impact of this is they're not going to be releasing new stock to buy initially. Most of the stores I've spoken to have said the vast majority of our orders are going to be filled, It's just that we're not going to be listing new product over the next few days. We are going to have to wait until we get more waves, and then we can actually guarantee what we've got. But the initial impact, if you've pre-ordered, you've probably had your store get in touch with you to tell you whether you've got your order or not by this stage, because allocations are out, so stores are getting in touch with people. If you haven't put in a pre-order, the main effect you're going to essentially see is this. Stores are not going to be listing online a lot of battle styles in the short term. And if you're trying to go into stores to buy battle styles, it's going to be quite limited in the short term. Now, the reason I say the short term is very, very simple. Pokemon have already come out and said super clearly, we are working to fix our supply. They put out a press release. I've referenced it in a couple of videos. And because I keep seeing people in Facebook groups going, well, hopefully Pokemon will start upping their supply, I think I need to keep saying this until the message gets across. They are upping their supply, although I don't think those people watch my videos, because if they did, they'd probably know. But you'll notice the language Pokemon use. They said, print more of the impacted products as quickly as possible and at maximum capacity. Be available at retailers as soon as possible. Here's the key point. For new Pokemon TCG expansions launching in the future, we are maximizing production to increase product availability upon release, and we will continue to reprint the products to replenish stock at retailers as soon as possible. So, when we see the battle styles are being allocated, we shouldn't look at this as Pokemon have failed. Remember, supply takes time to sort out, and demand has increased massively. I mean, I told you the other day about the 320% increase in the past 2 years. Honestly, I think demand has probably increased even further since then. I don't have any official facts and figures I can share with you. They've not been published. But anecdotally, from some of the people I've been speaking to, distributors, stores, etc., I know a lot of people have been up in their orders. So the fact that it is not being allocated to the same degree as something like Shining Fates really is a bit of a win. Yes, Pokemon have said that they're going to be upping supply for new sets, but you've got to remember that this takes time and there is a limit to it. Pokemon are going to keep upping supply, they're going to keep releasing it, so my message with Battle Styles is very much the same as my message with Shining Fates. Don't panic. It will get better. And of course, my usual thing, and I hate having to say it every video, but it does need to be repeated. If you are in a position to do so, and I know not everybody is, there is no judgment, but if you're in a position to do so, just ignore the scalpers. Supply will get better. Leave the silly scalpers sitting on product they've had to pay retail for, and then make them pay under retail, because anyone can just go and get it at retail from a shop with all kinds of buyer protection. So the random scalpers on Facebook have to sell at a loss, and then they get bored and never try scalping again. That's how you beat them. This will get better. Pokemon know this is happening. They've put out an official release. So what's going to happen is they are just going to keep reprinting. And I know Battle Styles is a bit awkward, but Sword and Shield 6, we don't have a name for this yet. But we know it is going to be essentially Jet Black Poltergeist and Ice Lance over in Japan, mixed in with Matchless Fighters. Matchless Fighters is S5A, Sword and Shield 5A. That is a mini set which we're doing card reveals for as they go along at the moment. That's basically what's going to make up Sword and Shield 6A. We have got a tentative release date for June the 18th. If I remember correctly, I think that's what it's currently listed as, although obviously it is subject to change. Yes, it is June the 18th. Expect this to be even better. Now, that doesn't mean expect it to be perfect. We're 3 months away. These things take time. But expect that Sword and Shield 6 is going to be less allocated. And expect the Battle Styles is just going to get more and more printing as we go along. Remember, as I've said many, many times before, Pokemon is a profit-making company. They want your money. If they can see the problem, we can all see it, that demand is too high, they cannot print cards fast enough, they are going to keep printing as fast as they can, and they're going to keep printing, because Pokemon is a profit-making company. They're not going to turn off the printers when we're all desperately clamoring for product, because that would mean that the company whose main goal is to make profit is deliberately not printing stuff that is guaranteed to sell and make money. That is silly. That is not going to happen. And please, 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 moving forward with future sets, be especially wary of any online seller, especially newer sellers who don't have a lot of experience, who are taking money for pre-orders, because until the allocation is guaranteed, and bearing in mind, I'm bringing you this video on Monday the 8th, and the set comes out in 11 days' time, that is about the run-up we have in terms of when we know our allocation. It's about 2 weeks-ish, just a little bit less most of the time. Be really wary of places taking your money, and a lot of you have seen this over the past few months, just because stores are taking your money does not mean they can actually guarantee that you're going to get the product, and it's super annoying to have the money leave your account and then just come back 2 months later when you don't get anything. Oh, and I've said this many, many times, but I'm going to say it once more here. Remember the stores that are charging above RRP. Remember the stores that are taking advantage of you when supply is low like it is. And remember the stores that are not. Stores like Mad for Miniatures in Cornwall. Stores like Millibods Gaming. The ones that I mention over on this channel, because I ain't going to be pushing any that try and price gouge you. And when supply catches up, and it will, and when it is easy to go and get these products from anywhere you like, and it will be soon like it was in the past, remember the stores that had your back, and remember the stores that didn't. Let's make sure we reward the stores that looked after us when it wasn't ideal. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you need to know about Battle Styles in the short term. Yes, it is going to be difficult to go and find it online, in shops, etc. But it will get better and better over time, and it will work out fine. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about this. I want to know if you've got your Battle Styles pre-order, if you've had it cancelled, if you've been able to find any anywhere. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.